Hi everyone, today we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Maximum Series Deadpool. So here we have the Maximum Series Deadpool out of the package and right here in front of us. This is a figure that I have been waiting on for quite some time, partly because this is my first Maximum Series figure and partly because I have been wanting a new Deadpool for a while. The Mayfex just quite didn't cut it. A lot of the Marvel Legends they've done, the SDCC Deadpool just didn't cut it. I'm very particular about Deadpool. I only really want one in my collection. So this look is the preferred look for me. One of the preferred looks. This and the Cable and Deadpool mid-2000s look. But this is him, based on his Marvel Now look for the most part. And honestly, I gotta say, I think he looks really good. So aesthetically, I think Deadpool looks really good. He is that Marvel Now style. Paint and sculpt look really good on him. The body type they have, I believe it's a new body. He might be pieces of like the Renewed Aroused body, but everything top to bottom looks really good. So this being Maximum, though, we do have to talk about some of the problems. We can see here, I don't know, I don't normally yell about things like this. However, at the price point we're looking at, yeah. So we do have some paint scuffs there on his belt area here, on the belt line, on his hips. We do have, can't really see that very well, but you can see paint rub right there. So we do have some negatives right off the bat with this guy. And, you know, it's the elephant in the room. We've all talked about it. This is a $50 price point figure for a line that traditionally is $25. I mean, traditionally it was $20. First it was $10, then $15, then $20, now $25. But, you know, we're paying almost double for what normally we get for $25. I say almost because we're slowly creeping up to $30. Depending on where you are. So we are paying more for this, and quality is kind of hit and miss. Since we're talking about negatives, let's go ahead and go into so far what the biggest negative that I've run into on this figure is, and that is his shoulders and his biceps. So move my thing here. So I don't know if this will pick it up very well. But the shoulders, so every once in a while you'll get butterfly joints. So he does have butterfly joints. So every once in a while you'll get butterfly joints, and the shoulder doesn't really want to move. So the butterfly kind of compensates for that lack of movement. And when I first got him, his shoulders were real stiff, could not move them. And even now I kind of have to move them at the ball to get them to work. Very stiff shoulders, very scary. And we're going to pair that with gummy biceps. I don't think this is a widespread QC issue. However, it is noticeable on mine. It is very gummy. It's very scary, especially with the way that the butterfly joint in the shoulder is working. I feel like I have to be real careful with his biceps. It is very disappointing for a figure that I've been looking forward to have these problems. That said, look at the wingspan on this guy. He can get into some really cool poses. But that... is there anything else negative? Oh yeah, let's go ahead and talk about other negatives. His swords. He has these really short, stubby swords, and they're glued. The sword sheaths are glued to his back. That is very annoying, and I hate it. So these are all things that you have to take into consideration whenever you're picking up this figure. You know, QC wise, you might get gummy joints that you're gonna be kind of scared to mess with. The swords, that's I guess it's more of a pet peeve on my end. We'll go ahead and compare him to the other Deadpool based on this look. I know I'm a little bit all over the place. So his short swords, these are almost too long, and these swords historically did suck. Right there. But you can take off his harness and swap it if you want. Not with this one, because they're glued in. But all right, so let's go ahead and put these guys next to each other and get a nice little one-to-one here. As you can see, these guys are based off of pretty much the same art, however, slightly different interpretations. Looking at them side by side here, go ahead and go all the way down and up. Very pretty. Of course, this is the Juggernaut Wave Deadpool. Came out, I want to say 2015. 2015 when he came out. He was part of the Juggernaut wave. For the day, really good figure. Really glad I had him in the collection. You can see they both take a lot of cues. Well, he takes a lot of cues from him. You can see here. Ooh, knocked him over. And one thing that this guy did come with that I kind of wish he came with was a fully unmasked head. I will try to dig it out here in a second and do a head swap. But here you can see them right next to each other. Bucky Cat body versus newer body. They look great. And you know what? This guy's been in the collection for a decade. It is sad to see him go. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he becomes part of my Avengers roster and he slides in around my mutant shelf. I don't know. But enough about that. Let's talk about what Maximum Deadpool comes with. So what all does Maximum Deadpool come with? Well, you've already seen he comes with 2 swords. He comes with a bunch of hands. So he has sword gripping hands. He has trigger finger hands. He has baby knife. He has gun 1 and gun 2. And you can take those out. So there's that. What's that? They're both the same. They don't have holes, so you can't put blast effects in them. A little disappointing. He has finger gun hand. He comes with some fists. Trigger fingers, once again. And the trigger fingers are on that vertical hinge. There. Sword swinging hands are also on vertical joints. He has a left hand peace sign, which he comes packaged with. That's all the hands. He comes with a little chimichanga there. And it does have writing on it. What does it say? I can barely read it. It's dark in this room. He comes with a stick of dynamite, Dynamite. He also comes with a bunch of other guns. So in my mental image of Deadpool, he has swords and he has handguns, but of course he does break out the larger artillery. And each of these do have a hole peg, or a hole that you can peg in blast effects in. So I've already got them in there so that way I don't lose them. But he has a big old submachine gun. This one did come out a little curved. I'll probably try to heat that up. He comes with a big old sci-fi fancy gun. This looks very similar to the gun he used on one of the covers of the Scotty Young run, but it looks really cool. I think this gun might be brand new for him. And he comes with a not AK-47. Outside of guns, he comes with an extra head. Focus. You know, that could almost double his head pool right there. Yeah, really nice sculpt. Paint. That's one thing about Maximum series so far. We've gotten 3 Maximum figures with allegedly a couple leaked. I feel like the alternate heads aren't great. Like the Peter Parker Spider-Man head looked awful, and the Hulk heads were not great. That's one drawback of the Maximum line. Their heads aren't too great. All right, and last but certainly not least, as a throwback to the Toy Biz Marvel Legend Deadpool, this one comes with Dupe. Oh, I'm sorry. Dupe. There he is in the green flesh. He is articulated somewhat. His arms do move up and down and hinge out. Paint is really good on this guy. It looks, honestly, he looks just like he stepped off of an X Factor page. Or Ecstatic, or whichever. I don't really care for mutants. One thing I have noticed on all of the dupes that I have seen, and he is bumpy, he is textured, is that I think most of the ones I've seen, their X's have been just a little off center. But that is dupe. I will be not keeping dupe. I am giving him to my best friend, who's a much larger mutant fan than I am. Before we get into size comparisons, let's go ahead and do that head swap I promised. So we'll take off that. Of course, he does have that double ball peg. And you know what? Hasbro does a bad job with these. I actually don't hate this one for once. See if this fits. She don't want to pop. Not really. I mean, the face still has a lot of personality for being a decade old. Maybe if you drumbled it out, but I don't really want to risk it. I just bought this toy, and I'm already worried about his pop. I'm already worried about some of his joints anyway. So yeah, sorry it doesn't quite fit, but you know what? We'll put Juggernaut Wave, Deadpool. Oh god, the head doesn't want to fit on that one either. So yeah, there is one reason to keep your Juggernaut Wave Deadpool. The head fits still really well on that body, and it has honestly aged well. So, but let's get into some size comparisons with Deadpool. All right, so we are zoomed out. Let's go ahead and put Deadpool next to his BFF, all of a sudden, Wolverine, Astonishing Wolverine. I think they look perfect together. Let's go ahead and put him with, spoilers, this might be my figure of the year. He is definitely the Marvel Legend of the year. Sorry, Deadpool, you are good, but you don't quite cut the mustard. He is next to Iron Man. All right, and because I am a Deadpool fan and a Taskmaster fan, let's go ahead and put Deadpool next to the Marvel Legends Cabal Taskmaster. All right, guys, now that we have size comparisons out of the way, let's talk about articulation. This guy is a maximum price. He claims to be a maximum figure. Is he maximum? Well, he moves pretty well. All right, let me move all of his stuff out of the way here, and let's get him closer. Focus, focus. There we go. Also, I do love this head sculpt on this guy. So let's go ahead and start. You saw the ball peg. You do get pretty good up and down with it. The neck, of course, is a separate piece as well. So really pretty good there. Not much in the way back, but he does lean from side to side. Not too bad. I will say Hasbro has been doing this neck piece as a separate piece for a while, and I feel like they're going backwards. So we have Extremis Iron Man, which can only go up and down. But on some of the earlier Iron Mans that they did it on, like it had a full, like you could just wobble the crap out of it. So I do feel like we're going backwards in that regard. So after that, we do have, I showed off these a little bit. Once again, his shoulders were very tight whenever I got him. He is pinless. So we're going to do this. Ta-da. Yeah, I don't know. The biceps just scare me on him. Good butterflies with good motion here. Double jointed. Vertical hinge on that hand. No gauntlet swivel. He can split out about there. He does not have drop down hips. He does have thigh rotation. He is going to kick up about that much. Maximum toes. Double jointed. Guess he could kick his butt. He does have calf swivel. I know Hasbro's been cutting that here and there lately, but he does have calf swivel. And then the part on this figure that was talked about a lot when he first started hitting the shelf. Gotta be kind of mindful where that is. So one thing that I've noticed a lot of people is the reverse ab crunch on him. So Legends is doing a lot of reverse ab crunches. I know that the Game Reverse Wolverine is more of the not double barbell, but waist joint, the fancy waist joint. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I like the reverse ab crunch. It's not a deal breaker. The double waist rocker I would prefer, but so we do have a waist rocker up top, which gets pretty good side to side, front and back. And then, so here's the thing. So if you look at people online who have this, the belt starts off really tight and constricts it. So you get really about that. Not a ton. It does impede. But if you do what I did and a couple other people do, and you just heat this up a few times, like you should probably heat the figure up in general. You can see it floats a little bit more now, so you're going to get a deeper crunch. So swords don't hinder him. The belt does hinder him at first, but the more you work with it, the better it is going to be. Hey guys, I'm Deadpool. Bleh. And that is the Marvel Legends Maximum Series Deadpool. Do the negatives outweigh the positives? I don't know. The more I play with him, the more I like him. The less I am worried about the pegs breaking in the biceps. I still am. So that, I don't know, that's going to take the fun factor out of it a little bit. However, aesthetically, he looks great. There is something about the in-hand feel of this figure that I don't want to say is import quality, but it feels better than handling the Bucky cap, if that makes sense. And he does come with a lot of accessories, so with that and the articulation, the aesthetics, he's really well done, but there's some QC things that really hold him back for me. I would say he's, if I have to put him between Astonishing Wolverine and Extremis Iron Man, who is my Marvel Legend of the Year, and Astonishing Wolverine, who is just a figure that I really enjoyed picking up. He's closer to Wolverine on that scale, so I would say he's like a 7 or an 8 out of 10, whereas Iron Man is a 9.5 out of 10. But he is still really fun to mess with, and as far as I know, I'm one of like 2 people that have a gummy copy, so I might pick up another one just to see. But he's really fun. Is he worth picking up? That's gonna be the question. Is he worth the money? $50, that's a lot to ask for a Marvel Legend. I understand that. So that's another thing to consider. This line's not getting any cheaper. So with the 3 Marvel Legends Maximum series that are out, the Spider-Man, the Hulk, and the Deadpool. Of course, the Hulk is a $60 action figure. That's a whole other can of worms, I think. Do I think he's perfect? Not at all. Do I think compared to the Marvel Legends Maximum Spider-Man, is he better? Yes. I know there's a lot of like yes, no, maybes in this. When it comes to the Maximum line, he is clearly the bar. Maybe not a high bar, but he's the bar to set. Aesthetics, great. Feel in hand, great. Articulation, great. Accessories, acceptable. And, you know, Spider-Man had a lot of crappy accessories, which is one of the reasons I didn't grab him. Deadpool, I can see myself using just about every accessory in this pack. Even dupe, I think, would make for some great photos. So, Hasbro, I think you guys knocked it out of the park on this one for the most part. I'd like to see some QC stuff get better. Speaking of that, the Extremis Iron Man that I have been glowing over for a review and a half. Once again, I'm seeing a lot of QC problems, and this was a $50 2-pack. If you boil this guy to loosen up his joints, it'll take his arc reactor paint right off. So they didn't seal the paint. I would, in a perfect world, I'd like to see Hasbro just do better. That seems to not be the case lately. But I'm tired of being negative. I really do enjoy this figure, warts and all, as they say. Thank you guys for watching. Marvel Legends Maximum Series Deadpool, he's out at whatever retailer carries Marvel Legends. I know that my store in particular, we put like 30 of these things on pre-order because it's Deadpool. So, no, it's a great figure. Go pick him up. Maybe he hits a sale one day. Let's hope. We like cheap figures. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for putting up with my nonsense. Just to let you know, if you made it this far into the video, Sword for Hire comics have been ordered officially. Very happy about that. And we've started on the next one. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Next review up should be Yujiro Hanma. And I will see y'all on the next round.